What is up, everyone, and welcome back to another tutorial with our PHP forum. In the last episode, we learned about session and storing data for the users to stay logged in and all that, and that was pretty cool, and it's super useful. And in this episode, we're going to be learning about 3 ways to control the page with PHP. And we're going to be learning about headers and redirecting our users, including stuff into our page, and killing the page. So yeah, let's get straight into it. So the first thing we could learn about is killing the page. So if we have some code here, like we'll just say echo, and we'll just put in here. I wish Sublime had a faster thing for PHP. There's probably some plugin. If you know about it, let me know in the comments. We'll just say hello, aloha snack bar. Right, so we want to just echo that on the screen, right? So there's that. And now we want to echo out, I can just, Control Shift D, yeah, there we go. Splatoon Splatfest 2016, I don't know. So we want to echo these things on the page, right? So let's just see if we go into our, let's go into our web page, which was localhost/forum/test.php. So if we go here, you can see we get Aloha Snack Bar instead of Aloha Bar, and then we get our Splatfest 2016. And now, what if we don't want people who are logged in to see this thing about Splatfest, or maybe we only want people who are logged in to see the thing about Splatfest, or if we just don't want them to see anything past this Aloha Snack Bar. Now, you may be thinking, okay, well, we just don't echo it out to them if they're not signed in, but what if we want to just kill the page entirely, so that way they don't see anything else on this page? Well, to do that, we can go if, and then we can do, of course, $iset, or is set, I don't care how you say it. Oh, and not $, what am I doing? So if is set, and then $_session, and then in here, username. So if the session username is set, we want to kill the page. And now there are 2 functions to do that in PHP. They're the exact same thing. There's die, and there's exit. And you only need to use one of these guys. It's actually kind of ridiculous if we just type in PHP die, and it'll take us to the PHP manual, and you'll see somewhere on here, there is literally the exact same thing as exit. Like, they're exact same functions, no difference. And I don't even know why they both are still in there. But, yeah, we're just going to use die because it's only 3 letters. So we're just going to say, if the user is signed up, we're just going to kill the page. And that's it. And people who are signed in won't see any other content, which is typically the opposite of what you want to do. But we're going to do it. So let's just close out this PHP manual page. If you guys ever get stuck or have programming questions, just look at that. It'll help you a lot. The PHP manual is a great resource. So we're going to go to our dank forms, and now let's just submit some data here, and log in. And now, as you can see, we should, how did we screw it? Did I not, I don't think I saved the page. This is awkward. Boom. So we'll go, yeah. So if they're logged in, kill the page, and then this code down here should not execute at all. So let me see. There we go. So, as you can see, because we're signed in, I didn't save it before, but if we're not signed in, obviously we don't get any of the content because we killed the page. And like I said, exit and die are synonymous, so you can use either one. So there we go. That is how you use exit or die. Another case you want to use that is when you're done with your PHP script, like we'll talk about headers and footers, but you want to kill your page whenever you're done, so that way no PHP could get executed at some point after you've executed all the PHP you want. So, but we'll get to that later. But that's how you can kill the page. So yeah, just remember die and exit are the way you can kill the page. And we'll just get rid of this for now. But if at any point, even if you just wanted to call die right, not die, there we go, die right now, it'll still work, which is cool. So that is one way to control the page, by killing the page prematurely, or just at any time you want the page to die. That's how you do it. The next thing we're going to talk about is headers. And now headers are a way we can redirect our user and make them and make them go into any sort of site that we want. So that is a pretty easy thing to do, and I'll show you how it works. So we'll just go down here after this Splatoon Splatfest 2016. I'll just delete these two lines since you already know how to. Okay, there we go. And now we'll say we are going to, up here we've got a form that we don't really use, but whatever. We'll just say if we have a button over there called login right here. So we'll say if $_post, and what was it? Oh wait, no. If is set $_underscore post, and then here our button was called login. That was the name of it. So we'll say if the login button is pushed, if login button is pushed, just because we haven't done this for a couple tutorials. So if they push the login button, we want to redirect them. And to redirect, we use a function called header. And header is just HEADER, and then our things. And now I have to give it a link. So we'll put it in here. And now we have to write this. It's kind of specific, with a capital location : now our website, http : I don't know, google.com. That's a fairly normal website to redirect to, I guess. So let's just see if this works. Let me just refresh the page. What did we do here? Unexpected. I forgot the semicolon. No. What is wrong with this thing? Oh gosh. Unexpected break in line 21, which is right here. Oh, we don't need that. I'm silly. Okay, so now if we save that and then we refresh the page with no more stupid, silly errors, boom, and now I push this button, it should absolutely nothing. Oh, there we go. It redirected us to google.com. What's today's occasion, Google? Oh, wow. Day 1 of the 2016 Doodle Fruit Games. Find out more at g.co/ there you go. Go to that website to find out more. So there we go. We just successfully redirected our users. And now what if we want to redirect them to another page on our site? Well, we can do that fairly easily. We don't need I don't think you need the HTTP because it's a separate sort of thing. We can say location : and we can say chicken.php. And if we save that, it should redirect the user to chicken.php, which is on our website, of course. So submit, and yep, there we go. We are redirected to chicken.php. And that's how that works, which is cool. And now, this may or may not work for you all the time. On a web server like the one that I run with GoDaddy, it does not work, and it requires me to put in a special line of code for every website that I use headers with. And this line of code is, well, it's 2 lines. It's just like how we have session_start. We have to use another one. We have to start up another thing called OB_start. Not object, that's OBJ. So we have to call that at the beginning before we echo any HTML at all. Before any HTML is on the page, we have to call session and OB. And now at the end of the page, we have to call OB_end_flush. And then we can just put that in there, nothing in there. And this usually is just fine on a local web server, but for whatever reason, it's sort of a complicated thing with the page. You need this when you're doing page, like on an actual web host like GoDaddy or something, you may need this. So just keep that in mind. So that's our second way to control the pages, of course, headers, which redirect the users to different pages. And now the last one we're going to learn about is including things into the page. And now this is freaking fantastic, because if any of you guys have ever done HTML and you've made this awesome like nav bar looking thing, I don't know, if we just go to YouTube, you'll see we've always got this search bar and this recommended at the top for us. So if we go into, I don't know, the Scrubs channel, as you can see, we've got this top bar at the top, and now there's probably a ton of work that goes into this part and to this part. There's like, there's so much that the developers have to consider, especially the web designers, and they probably type out a ton of HTML and CSS just to get that thing working. And it would be a real shame, if they had to if they had to type it or just copy paste it onto every single page. Well, before you guys probably knew anything about HTML and PHP, well, good HTML developers probably leave that to the PHP people. But if you guys knew anything about PHP or HTML in general, and you were really good at designing websites, you may have hated having to copy paste the whole thing with the HTMLs, and I can understand that. But we can do that really easily with PHP with only one line of code, which is phenomenal. So right click on our form and then go to new file, and we'll just save this one as we're going to call it header. Not like the redirection header, but header.php, because I think that's a good name. It's the heading, it's always going to be the top of the page. How you've got a set of links at the top of the page, and you've got, it may take you to your home page or whatever you use a thing at the very top of the page, like a nav bar. And this is where we start all our HTML code, usually inside of a header page. So you may have your doc type in your HTML tag, and then you have a footer which closes all that, and you may have your session.start and all your database info. Well, we're just gonna ignore all that for now, and we're just gonna echo some dank HTML. So we're just going to say, hello, Joe. And now, boom, we have a PHP document. Now, what if I want to have this at the top of every single page? Well, it only takes one line of code. Also, we're going to copy our session.start because I don't want to have to put that on every page. So just copy that and go into our, where is it? Okay, here we go. Hello, Joe. And of course, create our question, PHP question. Paste that in there, session.start, and we're going to do the other one too, ob_start, and semicolon, and there you go. Now, we're going to put this at the top of every page, but we're not going to copy paste it, because that is a waste of time. So, the way we can put these things at the top of pages is with something called our include. It's an include or a require function. We're just going to use include. And they do similar things, but I'm going to show you include first. Include. And what do we want to include? We want to include header.php. That's what we call it, header.php. And now if we save that, yep, I'll buy Sublime eventually. One day I actually will, guys, I swear. And now we'll do include header. No, that's not what I want. Header.php. And you just want to do this for all your site or for all your pages, and except for the header, I'll show you what happens if you include another page. It's actually quite hilarious if you do something like that. So if we refresh, we should get maybe I didn't do that one right. Hello, Joe. There we go. At the top of every single page that we include our header in, you can see that it works, and we don't have to type our session.start. And that's cool, because if we go to another page, like a chicken, I think we included it in chicken.php. Did we include it in chicken.php? Come on, man. What the heck, bro? Did I spell it wrong or something? Header.php. I'll just copy this line of code. There we go. Copy. I'm a scrub. And paste it. Save that. We should refresh. There we go. Okay, I guess I just misspelled it. You can't misspell them, or you'll get errors. So that's basically the three sort of ways. And now there is another way of doing this, and that is there are a few different ways to include and require. And there's the include function, and then there is the require function. And now require means, okay, this has to be on the page for it to function. You cannot, include sort of just passes as whatever. It just takes the HTML and the PHP and everything from that file, dumps it straight onto this one. And the require works a little bit differently. And if we, obviously it's going to work here. It's going to work here. Because if we refresh, it's going to work. But what if we have a head effer? That sounded wrong. If we refresh, boom, warning, require headeffer.php, failed to open stream, no such file or directory. And now if we just do include, as you can see, we probably won't get an error. Did I not save? Well, maybe. What did I do here? Whatever. Okay, so include, it works a little bit differently. And then there's an include once, which is include underscore once. And that basically says if the page, or if it's already been included, it's not going to include it again. And that is, I guess, kind of useful if you want to perform a check on your page to make sure that you're not including something multiple times, or there's no sort of code that gets executed there. So that can be important to do in a bigger site, but we're not going to use it too often. Now, the best thing ever about something like this is, what if we require or we include our own page? Well, that is absolutely hilarious. PHP, and now if we of course include our own page inside our page, you guys can probably guess what's going to happen. It's just going to try to include it over and over and over. So just include header.php inside of header.php, and oh man, we're in for some fun. Oh no. Why am I still getting hate? Said Keemstar. Refresh that. No. Did I? Come on, Slime. Okay, we're just gonna go to the test because we know that works. Test.php. Yep. The page is having a little bit of trouble here, as you can see. It's not a good idea to include your own. Eventually it'll crash and it'll yell at us because we can only do that with 255 at a certain time. So that's not good. But yeah. So don't include a page inside of a page. Don't include the same page inside of itself. That's a bad idea. Because if you do, it'll explode. And you'll be sad. But I think I'm about to end off this tutorial here. I'm freaking exhausted because it's like almost 4. By the time I get this uploaded, it's going to be like that. So I hope you guys have not hated this tutorial. If you have, leave a dislike. Tell me exactly why. If you've loved it, subscribe for more. Like the video. Follow me on Twitter in the link in the description. And till next time, you little scrubby nubbies, I will see you in the next video. Enjoy the errors.